Hello, welcome to Crafting with Lee. Today I'm going to show you how to make handmade bows for your wreaths. The first one I'm going to show you how to make is by measuring. You can use a ruler or a cutting mat or anything really. I'm going to start by measuring out 12 inches for the tail. And you don't have to add a tail right now. If you're not going to add a tail till after, you can just do like 3 inches. Then you're going to twist it. And I'm going to turn it around here so it's easier to work with. And then you go to 11 inches because I want my loops to be 5.5 inches. So you pinch it at 11 inches and then bring it to the center. And then make sure you twist again because this keeps the pretty side up. And then you go to the, start of the ruler again, go to 11, pinch it again, and then bring it to the center. And then once you hold it, you twist. It's usually easier to throw the ribbon spool into the floor because it'll get wrapped up. And just make sure you twist every time so you can keep the pretty side facing up. Alright, I did 4 loops at 5.5 inches. And now I'm going to go to the 10-inch mark, which gives me loops at 5 inches. So they're just slightly smaller. And each time I just pull it out, measure it, pinch it, bring it to the center, twist it. Super simple. And for the small center loop, I'm doing a 3-inch. So I go to 6 inches and pinch it. And then I'm just going to use a zip tie. My pipe cleaner was too bright. I'm going to use a zip tie to secure it. And you can use a pipe cleaner if you like. And just pull it really tight and kind of fold it into itself. And then I like to hold the tails in my hand, like in my fist, so I can have good control of fluffing my bow. And then you just stick your hands in and move the loops where you want them. And since it's wired ribbon, it'll stay where you put it. And you can move the tails to where they come out the same end. I just think it's cute how it spreads. Now I'm going to show you how to make a freestyle handmade bow using 2.5-inch ribbon. Alright, this tail is a lot longer because this bow is going to be bigger. It's about 24 inches. I'm going to start by pinching and twisting. So on the left I have shiny ribbon, on the right I have the back of the ribbon. And I'm going to pinch it to the size I'd like. Then I grab and twist, just like last time. The only difference in this bow is I don't have any kind of measuring device except for holding it up to the existing loop. So I try a few times until I get the right size. And then once you get the 2 initial loops, then you can just measure on the side that the loop is on. And I'll show you what I mean right here. So you twist. And then this loop, you're just going to use the loop that's on that side to figure out how big to make it. So I like the way those look. So I twist it again. And do the other side. And with handmade bows, you can pretty much make your bow as big as your hands can hold. That's the only downside to making a handmade bow, is after a while your hands do get full and it gets harder to hold on to it. But if you can withstand it, it's super simple. And you can see my ribbon's getting twisted. I should have threw it on the floor but I wanted you to see how I'm making it. Because when you throw it on the floor, it has a longer line, so all the twisted parts tend to fall to the floor. Now, you can use this bow as is, or you can do like I'm going to do, and I'm going to add another kind of ribbon bow on top of it. If I wasn't going to do that, I would make each loop a little smaller coming in, just so when you fluff the bow, it has a defined center. With this bow, I kept all of the loops the same size because I am going to add another ribbon bow on top. Alright, so I just use a zip tie to tighten this one too. And I cut off about 24 inches for a matching tail. Then pull tight, and then I fluff. And when I fluff my bows, I stick my hand inside of the piece of ribbon and I spread my fingers and it fluffs the bow. And the great thing about wired ribbon is you can make it as flat or as round as you'd like. And I like to start on one side and then go to the other side and do the same ribbon. So it's like I'm taking turns. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to do the same thing with a 1.5 inch ribbon. The difference in this ribbon is it does not have an ugly side. The back and the front of the ribbon look exactly the same, so you don't have to twist it. You can, but you don't have to. I do twist to start it, and I'm making a tail. I would say it's about 18 inches. I'm going to start my loop, and I pinch it, and I don't twist it. I'm just going to make another loop. Some people like to still twist so you can, one, get in the habit of doing it, and two, it makes for the defined center. Sorry if the camera keeps shaking. My daughter was running around and around the table. And this bow can be used by itself as well. But I'm actually going to add it on top of the bow I just made so I can show you how to do a 2 ribbon bow. Right, and then I'm just doing 2 smaller loops in the center. That one I did taper down. The 2 outsides are one size, and then each time I went in just a little bit. It was like 1/4 inch each time. Alright, I'm just going to fluff this one. And see, this looks nice the way it is. And you could do that with 2.5 inch or bigger ribbon. I just really wanted to show y'all as much as I could. And this one is the same size on each side, so it's simpler to make. Alright, now I'm going to add the 2 ribbons together. Instead of doing 2 separate bows and adding them, you could hold them all in your hand at the same time and just continue adding the other ribbon on top. I just showed you this way so you could see multiple ways of doing the ribbon. And I'm just going to add them together with a pipe cleaner. And this helps to adding them on whatever you're going to add them to. You can put them on a Christmas tree, you can put them on a wreath, banisters, wherever. And actually at Christmas, I can show you how I make a huge Christmas tree topper bow. Alright, now I'm just going to fluff it. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to make my favorite bow, handmade bow. It's one that I make the tails after, so I'm only needing like 2 or 3 inches to start, and then I twist. I like this one the best because it's like the first one I made, where it has the small center. This is the kind of bow that you see in Walmart that's pre-made that they add to wreaths, like the evergreen wreaths. I'm just adding a lot more loops to this particular bow. I believe to make those, you only need to make 2 big, 2 medium, and then the one in the middle. And you can sell bows too, handmade bows. Alright, I've got 2 on each side so far. This ribbon's already cut because it was actually ribbon I had on my Christmas tree. It just worked out to be the perfect size for a bow. But normally you would work off of a spool and you won't cut until you're done with your bow because you might not cut enough. Another great thing about these bows is you can make them as big or as small as you want. Alright, now I'm coming in just slightly with each loop. So I have 2 on the outside that are the same size. And then the 2 right there are just a little bit smaller, and then my small center loop. And then I'm just going to secure them with a zip tie. And you want to make sure you use wire ribbon when you're making these bows, because that way when you fluff it, it stays where you want it to be. I love these bows. And then when you're done, you will add your tail. Or no tail, you don't have to have a tail. And you can just attach it with another zip tie or with a pipe cleaner. And this looks great as being a 2 ribbon bow as well. Now I'm going to show you how to make a bow using the Bowdabra. I show you this on every wreath that I make with a bow, but I wanted to add it to where I show how to make bows so you can see all the different ways. Alright, you're going to start with the pretty side facing you, and then you twist in your right hand away from you. So on the right, you have the ugly side facing up. The thing about the Bowdabra is you usually have to measure. You can lift up, but I find that it doesn't work as well because it'll want to pull out the center. So I just use my ruler, and I'm making 5-inch loops. And just be sure to twist in the middle. And I usually twist away from myself. And then once you do the first loops, it's the same as before. You pretty much, if you want to make them the same, you just line it up. You don't have to measure each time. I only measure when I change how big. But even then, sometimes I don't measure. You just come in the same amount on each side. And you can use floral wire, and you can already have it in the Bowdabra before you start adding your ribbon. You can also use pipe cleaners. You can have those in there as well. When I use pipe cleaners, I put them in first. I'm just going to use zip ties, so I just hold it securely when I pull it out. I do prefer to use the Bowdabra just because I can add as much as I want and it doesn't, bother my hands. There are a lot of different bow things out there, like bow helpers. I did have an easy bow maker and I really liked it. I think my kids lost the little dowels that come with it. It was pretty simple to use. I've never used that elaborate one that has the many different pegs. I'm not sure what it's called, but I would like to try that one day. Alright, see, I came in a little bit on each side, so I have 2 on each side that are smaller, so they would be at 4.5 inches. Alright, then I just pull it out and hold it securely until I get my zip tie around it. And then you pull tight. I use zip ties on thicker ribbon, like this kind, but if you're using sheer ribbon or ribbon from Dollar Tree, pipe cleaners work great. And I'm just going to fluff my bow. And that's how I make my handmade bows. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.